So Monday morning, the day of the building going up, and not just these guys turned up to start putting the building up. I've got these guys that are digging the trench across the road for the electricity. So what happens is they're going to put the tubing in, which will connect to that red one behind. So it goes across the little driveway there in front of the barn, then through the bank. They're going to take out the bank and they're going to connect to that pole. Well, they won't connect that. I'm having it connected on the, I think, 16th of February. But it's the main first thing in, which is great because that means that the tubing is in and ready, and where that gap is just above the tractor wheels there, that bank is going to completely go. That whole bank's going to go, and we're going to put fencing in instead, some kind of low fencing. But they've got to put the electricity to the edge of the boundary, and that's what they're doing. They're digging up a trench in the road. So it's all happening, and these guys are just measuring out the slab, and they found that the slab is the right size. So that is a big relief. Onwards and upwards. So we are Tuesday lunchtime now on the build. The guys turned up yesterday. They spent quite a bit of time measuring everything out and being extremely precise. And it turns out that the slab, as I said, is the right size, which makes a massive difference, and it's completely level. You can see by my smile that I'm going to show you this now, and there you go. We have the start of a building, and I'm completely kind of flabbergasted at the size of the building. Even though I knew the size, it's going to be 5 meters to the gutters. It's not until you actually see it. Let me take you around this way. It's not until you actually see the thing that you realize how big a building it is going to be. So there you go. It's going to be big.
Ist mir nicht zu sehr. Ja.
And also they've got the right bit of kit to be able to just pull the beams into place. But I'll show you. So how it works is it's actually quite flimsy, the beams. And they're double braced. They're one beam against another. Okay, for this one particular. And when they put the bolts in, you'll see basically they put the thing on site, all organised, and then they whack the bolts in, and then they just screw them in. It's pretty good. And you can see my stonemasons. I know this is a ridiculous thing, but my stonemasons measured everything perfectly, so that even though you won't see that little buttress there in the future because the underfloor heating will come up around it, it's all absolutely spot on. And there's no doubt the French workmen here certainly know how to use a measure. So I'm like well pleased. This afternoon they're going to build more of the beams. They've got another 6 to build, because the one at this end, at the far end, and the one at that far end only has one side to it because it actually is braced a different way, and that's part of the construction. But I think you'll appreciate it's going to be a big building with the awesome mezzanine and awesome storage, and I'm kind of like in awe of it all. I can go backwards without falling over. So by the end of today, I think there'll be another 2 up, and it'll be even more impressive. But the building is actually well constructed as well in terms of design, because they know that when you start one end, they've given you these two sections at each end there, and at the bottom and the other side, to actually put together to hold that first part. Because when you're building a building like this, just getting those first couple of beams up is the most tricky, because then you've got to get them up square and then brace them while you're working to just get them up and get them up level. So it's pretty cool really what they've done. They've got a lot of experience, these guys, and they've done this stuff before. So I think I got lucky again, and I got a good team. So I'm more than happy that they're doing this job, because I tell you what, I couldn't have done it. Perhaps I could have done if I knew what I was doing and I'd done it for a few years, but I doubt it. And I'll be in this building quick now. So what happens is the panel sections that go on the outside of here will come down, you're saying finished, just exactly level with the bottom of that, 50 mil. So that's so cool. I mean, it's just, when you see all this come together, it's pretty amazing. Well, I've been melting down some of my wax cappings in my machine. It's going pretty well. And this is now my view. Day 3. It's only Wednesday, and there it is. The building is going up. It's pretty impressive. Just look at that. What a size. Friday morning, and these guys finished basically the whole thing last night till 7 o'clock in the dark. I got a couple of pictures while it was like with the lights behind, which looked pretty cool actually, but you can see really now the whole structure. It's actually not easy to show you, but I'm going to take some video from around the other way, walking around it as we go. We are basically ready for the panels to go on, and they will all fit into place. There's something like 50 panels on the roof alone. It's a lot. But this is the main door where I'll be going in and out from. Electric door there. Roller, well, it's a vertical garage door type door that's insulated as well. So we've got a window here. We've got the main pedestrian door here, and we've got 2 further windows further in. You can see on here, and that'll be in front of the sink, which is, I guess, it's worked out really well, because that's what I hoped for. That's where the sink's going to go, in front of the window, so I can look out the window while I'm doing my washing up. Lol. Second window there, and that will be where the stairs are going up to the mezzanine, almost certainly. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go yet, but that window will be split. So half of it will give light to the small room here, and the other half will give light to this part of the building. And then you've got that gable end with one window to the rear, because I wanted a window in the warming room, so that when I bring any supers in that may have bees on, they're going to go out of there, which is my plan anyway. So there is method in my madness. But now we know the exact size of the beams between, for example, here and the other side of that one there. The distance between, we can measure for the mezzanine exactly and get that measurement off and get quotes from different people. You can also see we've got cables that are cross-sectioned there, and that tightens and braces the whole building. So there's a cable in each end. So there's 12 cables there. That braces this end, and there's the second end in the far side, and it's the second end in apparently because the way the structure's made, you can't have it in the last one with the door there. So there you go, there's the cables there. And basically the building is finished. The only thing that hasn't gone in is these pieces, and those are for the garage door gear motor to mount that on the side up there. So that supports that and all the workings for that, or maybe the other side, I'm not sure, but they're all there. And these other bits go on the side or the corners of the building, but that's all that's left from that huge pile of metalwork. Nearly tripping over, he says. So now you can kind of see where we are with things. I've got a problem to sort out here. One of the snags is the beam turned up right on top of these conduits. So what we're going to do, so that's what's happened. So these two conduits here, or three of them, are right underneath, because I took a photo of everything so I'll have reference if this ever happened. So those four conduits there are right underneath that. So we're going to have to sort something out. So I'm going to have to spend some time. We haven't bolted this section down yet, you see, and that section either. That's just temporarily in over there. So what that means is we're going to take this bottom plate off, because we still can. The other side isn't either. And then I'm going to have to angle grind it out and find the base of the tubes and just deviate them slightly. But it's not going to be that bad to do. So I should be able to sort something out with that. It's just one of the snags you get of doing a new building. But, you know, as we say, it is what it is. It's just stuff to sort out. So I've got that to do. But overall, let me give you some shots around the building. Pretty impressive. It's absolutely huge. There's loads of potential. And I'm kind of just absolutely stoked about the whole thing, of how square it is, how nice it looks, and how it's just the right size. You know, it is a massive building, but it doesn't kind of stick out like a sore thumb. And when the building is covered with the insulation and the cladding, it's the same thing. It will really kind of dull it down, because it's a nice dark grey, anthracite grey colour. So it won't be too much of an eyesore. Yeah, it's a building for purpose. So I'm super pleased with it. And I'm sure you're all sick to death of looking at it, but it is what it is. It's a building, it's gone up really well. I'm absolutely delighted. Now we're on to the next phase next week. They won't be here Monday, but Tuesday onwards, they're going to be putting all the cladding up, and I've got a feeling that a lot of it's going to go up really quick. So from my point of view, it's been a complete success this week. We've had dry weather. Everything has been perfect. And these guys are really motivated, and fair play to them. You know, they know how to earn their money, but they've done a fantastic job. So have a good weekend, and I'll see you again next week for the next phase of the cladding. Bye for now.